What's happening, fam? I'm Milton from TeamFFLEX. You're on my show I do every Monday, Protein Power, where we talk about everything regarding your nutrition and results. This week's theme is gonna be bikini competitors. All right, we're gonna talk all week on every show we got about bikini. We're gonna cover everything you want to know about competing in bikini, off seasons in bikini, improvement seasons in bikini, preps in bikini, everything. And since today's topic is nutrition, we're gonna talk about the biggest contest prep mistakes people make with their nutrition in bikini. All right, and this is a big issue. Something comes up all the time. I get questions about it all the time. I've taken even more clients on that have unfortunately gone through these mistakes and had very adverse side effects from it. All right, a lot of what's the norm out there is actually the norm to really mess you up in the long term. And today we're going to cover all that and talk about it, and I'll give you my ideas of what the biggest mistakes are, and then also give you my solutions and what you should be doing actually. All right, remember, this is just one of 5 awesome shows I run all week for you every week. New content helping you for free. So if you want to help your Coach Rye out just a little bit, do me a favor, subscribe to my channel and then share the video for me. All right, it's free content. I'm helping you. I know tons and tons of people watching this getting better from it. I get nothing but positive feedback, and I appreciate you watching so much. I appreciate you even more if you help me out and just share it out for me. All right, so let's just dive in here and get right to it. Basically, when we're talking about a contest prep diet in bikini, there are things that come up. First, you got to understand what the actual prep phase of a prep is. Kind of weird to say, but a lot of people don't understand that there's actually multiple phases of training and nutrition being a competitor. One phase would be an improvement season phase. This is what a lot of people call off season. I call it improvement season because in my idea, there is no off season. You should always be improving. You should always be training for a goal. Well, in improvement season, your goal is actually higher calories. You're building muscle, you're improving your physique. Okay, that's what you do in those. We're talking about nutrition mistakes in a prep phase today, and prep phase is basically another way to say cut down phase, lean out phase, if you will. Obviously, we all know no matter what division you choose to compete in, you have to be at a certain level of conditioning for that division. For bikini division, this is a softer level of conditioning compared to other divisions, but it is still a level of conditioning that is not the normal. You can't just take somebody off the street and throw them into a show and have them do well. They'd have to be training, they'd have to be doing a diet, they'd have to be on the prep phase, right? So there is a level of conditioning you have to attain in bikini. Now, there's a lot of speculation all the time between competitors, and I know competitors getting in their head, they got shredded to the bone, every muscle in their body, and they think they're not lean enough. And there's some people that come in too soft, and then there's those people that hit it right on the head in between. So you got to understand that when we're talking about a prep phase, we're actually talking about, from the nutritional aspect that we're going to cover on the show today, the dieting down phase, attaining the right level of conditioning for the bikini division. Now, there is a lot of stuff that comes into this regarding the mistakes that people make. And you might say, well, how is there a mistake with dieting, right? How is there a mistake with that, Coach Rye? Well, let me tell you, I have trained thousands of competitors at this point in my career. Been doing this for a long damn time. It's crazy. Been pumping out, programs and plans and putting people on stage for years and years now. And I've seen countless times over and over, people come to me from other coaches, other teams, other gurus and experts, and they're all jacked up, ladies and gents. They're all messed up, and this is because they did the wrong stuff. There is definitely a lot of wrong ways to diet. If you do diet the wrong way, guess what you do to your body? You're going to mess up your hormones. That's not good. Hormones dictate a lot of functions in your body, okay? A lot of things, ladies. And if you jack those up, you're gonna have some serious side effects, some problems. That's gonna be bad for your health, bad for your wellness, but especially bad for your on-stage physique and your competition career. You could jack your metabolism up doing a diet that is wrong. Dieting down, cutting down nutritional practices that are bad news bears. You could definitely do that and jack your metabolism up. If you jack your metabolism up, it's not going to get faster, it's going to get slower. And the slower your metabolism gets, guess what that means? Harder it is to burn body fat. Longer it takes to burn body fat, and when you're done with the show and you start eating like a normal human being again, you're going to gain a lot of body fat, okay? We've all seen the competitors that gain 30, 40 pounds in a few weeks after the show. It is not pretty, and it is not necessary, and it is also, especially, not healthy to prep that way, not to diet that way, all right? So I'm going to dive into more of those topics in just a second here and tell you what I really think the biggest mistakes are with contest prep nutrition for bikini right after this break. 1, 2, 3! If there was one mistake I'd have to say is constantly made, it is dieting too hard and too fast. And if you watch my channel for any length of time, it's probably not the first time this has come up. And that's because it is a big, big mistake that people still make every single day of their competition prep life. In bikini, here's the issue, okay? Bikini in general, you know, it's a female division. It is a women's division where we're looking at a conditioning level that is at a softer level of conditioning. However, there is a lot of very well-edited, well-filtered, well-angled photos of all kinds of bikini competitors on the internet. And we're talking the social medias, we're talking pros, we're talking amateurs, we're talking people doctoring photos, we're talking people taking crazy lighting photos, we're talking people filtering photos, we're talking people manipulating what's actually going on. And here's the crazy thing. The stage photos you get, ladies and gentlemen, actually don't accurately reflect what the judges see either. Okay, and I'm leading you down a path here, but ride with me for a second because we're going to wrap this up in just a second up to why this actually is nutrition related. The photos that you get on stage and the ones you're seeing on Instagram, those are not accurate to what's actually there on competition day. Okay, I've talked with Sandy Williamson, head NPC IFBB judge at Olympia. She's the head judge of the women's divisions, period. And she'll tell me all the time, and she says at her seminars, if you ever get a chance to check those out, she does them all over the country. Spectrum Fitness Productions, I'll be there too. You can check those out, make sure you do. But basically, what happens is she says, you know what? People are getting photo ready. People are getting ready to look like the competitors they see on stage in photos, but they don't realize that's not what the judges are seeing. The camera actually makes you look a little bit bigger. Camera makes you look a little bit leaner. And guess what everybody does when they take an Instagram selfie? If you're watching this right now and you got selfies of yourself on Instagram, I'm going to tell you straight up, you took 49 of them first. And then you filtered it, you edited it, you looked at which one made you look the best, the leanest, the biggest, the most muscular, whatever your goal is, and you put that one up. Well, guess what? You ain't any different than your favorite bikini pros. You ain't any different than anybody else competing. They're all doing that too. So then you get an unrealistic expectation of what you need to be, where you should be, and you come in off target, okay? So there's a soft level of conditioning you have to attain in bikini. And really comes down to a flat stomach and not having, you know, extra body fat on your body. However, you're not coming in shredded. You're not coming in super lean. You don't want to be showing muscle breakdowns on your shoulder. You don't want to be seeing your 3 heads of your delts. You don't want to be seeing splits in your quads. You do not need 6-pack abs in bikini, ladies and gentlemen. But the constant hype of social media and stage photos and what everybody thinks they need to look like because they want to look like their favorite IFBB pro, well, you got to realize these things are not accurate to what the judges see. And what the judges see on stage, if you ever get a chance to really go to a show, do it. Pay extra to sit in the front row, okay? Get the VIP seats. It's right behind the judges. You'll be able to see on stage. You'll be like, what the? What? What are you looking at, right? You're looking at something totally different than what you see. You could even follow all the bikini girls, whatever, you know, follow them all on Instagram, watch them all week, watch their whole preps, and go to the show and you'd be like, what? This is totally different than what I see. I'll tell you guys what, when I started coaching a lot and going to a lot of shows and doing all this stuff with competitors, I was constantly blown away by how just different their check-ins look compared to how they look on the stage. And I've had to implement that into my coaching to make sure they'd always be on target. But here's the thing. What this does, since it sets this unrealistic expectation in your mind as a competitor, what a lot of competitors do and what a lot of coaches preach because they're lazy is dieting too hard, too extreme, too fast for the bikini division. And we get a lot of bikini competitors that show up way too lean. They got cuts everywhere. They got veins all over. They got abs showing. They got all this stuff. Hey, some of that stuff won't hurt you sometimes, but on some physiques it definitely will. I'll tell you what, I've been to many shows, and if you've been and you've seen you compete before, maybe you saw some girl backstage that was shredded. You're like, whoa. No doubt she's going to win, right? No doubt. That's what you think as a competitor. I know as a coach, it's probably not going to happen. And a lot of times they don't. They get on stage, they get put, you know, last. They get moved out of call-outs. They don't place because at the end of the day, they're not fitting the criteria of the division. You have to understand the bikini division is a softer level of conditioning. They do not want you having figure level conditioning, okay? And if you want to look at two versions of competitors, here it is right here. Here's a figure competitor. Here's a bikini competitor. These are top level competitors. I'm showing you right now, right here, you're looking at it. You see the difference? They're vastly different. Figure's way more muscular. It's a lot leaner. That's what you got to notice, okay? Bikini, muscular, got the shape, got all that, a lot softer, okay? Not seeing the splits, not seeing the shreds. And what happens is when bikini competitors start bringing figure-like conditioning, they get off target. And this comes a lot from basically dieting down too hard, too fast. Because what happens, you get way too lean. You come into your show too lean. And it's not a good spot you want to be in, ladies. You're going to be off. You're not going to place. You're not going to do good if you diet too hard and too fast. I got more to say about this in just 1 second, right after this break. Too hard, too fast is the biggest problem. I have to say it. I'm saying it again because it is. It is what so many coaches that are lazy do. They give you one generic meal plan and they give you, 900, 1,000 calories, something really ridiculously low. And they say, go do this. This is where you need to be. This is what you need to do, and you're going to lean out. And basically, why it's lazy coaching is because, yeah, guaranteed to lean out if you're eating like a freaking hamster. Obviously, you're going to get lean. But they're not paying attention to the fact that, hey, you might actually show up too lean, which could hurt you. And all the effects that we talked about in the earlier stages of this video that are really bad for your health and wellness, that's going to happen no matter what if you do that. If you diet too hard, too fast, I can promise you hormone problems. Like literally, this happens all the time. If you've been competing for a while, you may have done several shows in this method and you were okay, and then all of a sudden you weren't, and now you can't get lean to save your life. You got hormones running amok all over on you, and you can't, basically function anymore to even prep. And that happens a lot. That happens, unfortunately, too much when you don't diet the right way. When you do this too extreme dieting, it's bad news bears for ever competing in the long term, because basically you're guaranteeing you're going to jack your hormones up enough that it's going to be very hard to do that. Not to mention the secondary thing we talked about, the metabolic rate. No matter what, when you diet, even if it's a little bit, if you take your maintenance calories and drop them by 100, your metabolism is going to slow down. You're eating less, your metabolism adapts. It says, okay, we're a survival tool, less food coming in. We need to preserve the amount of energy we burning inside. So we're going to dumb that down. Okay, well, when you severely diet, you slow down your metabolism a lot. And this is an action for your body to preserve your body fat stores. Keep your body fat on you to stop you from burning it off you because it thinks you're starving. How crazy is that, right? How crazy is that doing a too extreme diet will actually give you the effect of where you're going to actually hold more body fat. And anybody who's ever competed before knows that if you've done that type of method where you did this extreme diet, you did all that, well, guess what? You got to the point eventually where there were stubborn parts of your body you could not get rid of no matter what. I'll tell you what that is. Metabolic problems, okay? Comes down to that basically at the end of the day. And this happens a lot when you diet too extreme, okay? It happens all the time, and it's really an unfortunate thing because it means you end up in a spot where your hormones are jacked, your metabolism jacked, you ain't competing. And if you are, you're not doing good. And even in your odds season, you're not doing good. You're just not feeling good, looking good, or being your best competitor. You're a person, your health and wellness when you do this type of dieting. Okay, so that's the number one. I have to say that. It's got to be the number one. Coincidentally, my other topics for nutrition mistakes on prep or, with bikini competitor nutrition in general would be not implementing things that stop you from actually burning your muscle mass off. This becomes a huge problem too. This could almost be our 3 to dieting too extreme, too fast, is when you do that, you start to directly target the muscle base. Everybody gets so worried about being lean enough. Everybody gets so concerned about being lean enough. They got to be, shredded enough. They got to look this lean. They're not lean enough. Well, what about your muscle? Let's not forget every division in the sport of bodybuilding is about bodybuilding. You got to have muscle, and even in bikini, yes you do, ladies, you got to have that muscle. The hourglass shape is everything in bikini. The wide shoulders, the little bit of lat taper into the small waist, and then into the the glutes, the legs, the quads, the hamstrings, the muscular development on the lower body. You got to have these things. If you don't have this, you're done. If you don't have the muscle base, you're game over. You cannot just, in other words, say, hey, I want to compete in bikini and just diet weight and go to a show and do good. It won't happen. You could be shredded lean. You could be at the right level of conditioning even for bikini, which is a rare thing these days. But if you get out there, you're not going to place because you don't have any muscle. You got to have muscle. And the foundation of muscle is what gives shape to the female physique in bikini. That's what you got to know. You have to understand that. So when we get into a spot where we diet too hard too fast, you burn the muscle off. The muscle goes bye-bye. It goes away, okay? Again, your body goes into survival mode. Well, guess what? Here's survival mode for you. Let's airdrop you into the Amazonian jungle. You're on your own out there, bikini competitor, okay? You're out there on your own. You got to survive. Well, if your body says, okay, well, here we are. We got muscle mass. We got body fat. What things do we need to do? We need to basically, if we're in a mode where we're doing a lot of activity and we're doing a lot of low calories, well, guess what? Now you're in a spot where you're signaling a survival mechanism. It's literally like most of you, when you're on prep, you're literally simulating your body into thinking you airdropped in to the Amazonian jungle, right? You're doing all this cardio, you're doing all this weight training, you're eating nothing. And the survival mechanisms kick in the same they do on prep as they would if I literally airdropped you into the Amazonian jungle, all right? And the thing is, you got to understand this. It's huge. It's important. I know I'm getting abstract in my thinking, but I want you to think about what I'm saying. That's why I'm doing that. The truth is, muscle is expensive. That's the way you could think about it. Muscle is expensive. When you have muscle on your body, it takes calories, it takes energy to maintain, okay? That's something you have to understand. Body fat is an energy source. When body fat is on your body, if your body's not getting enough calories, it can burn body fat. This is how we lean out, okay? So think about these two things now. In this survival mode where you're on prep and you're dieting real hard, you're doing cardio, you're doing this extreme this and that, and you're not getting enough calories, well, your body says, whoa, why are we holding all this muscle? It's very expensive tissue. It's very expensive calorically. It's not good for surviving to hold all this muscle, burn that shit. And that's what it does. And it says those body fat stores, though, we need those for the energy. We got to maintain that energy in case we don't eat enough because we haven't been eating enough. We're on prep. Brain don't know that. And then all of a sudden now you're in a spot where, guess what? You're holding body fat. You're burning muscle. You're showing up to stage worse than you could ever imagine. And this happens all too much. I got more to say about this right after this break. Mechanisms, don't mess with them, ladies and gents. These are things you can't out-program out of your body, by the way. The only way to do this is by doing a prep the right way. Okay, I'm telling you, I'm serious. This is what happens. Hormones get jacked up. Metabolism get jacked up. You burn off that muscle. Now you got to go take a year off to build it back. It's not the place you want to be in, okay? So don't do this extreme dieting. That's the number one tip I'd have to say. It's just the worst thing that you could do as a bikini competitor on prep or whenever is diet too hard too fast. Here's how you actually should do a prep, okay? And I've said this before, and people, quote me, they post this shit on the internet, whatever, go do it, I dare you. Put a story up right now with this quote. Bikini competitors, if you are on prep, you should always eat as much as you possibly can. You should always do as little cardio as possible, and you should always lift as heavy as you possibly can. On prep, that's what you should be doing, okay? Now understand what that means. Understand what that means. That's in the scope of still getting results, okay? So when I'm a coach and I'm taking a bikini competitor stage, I am not looking to diet them too hard too fast. I'm not looking for the lazy approach most coaches will take. I'm taking the approach to say, all right, how do I get this person obviously where they need to be in the healthiest, safest, and best manner possible to get them the best physique, but also the best other side of the coin. I don't want them rebounding weight. I don't want their metabolism shutting down. I don't want their hormones getting jacked up. I don't want them burning muscle. Well, I say, all right, we got to feed the body. We got to feed this muscle. We do need to be in a diet, but it don't need to be extreme. I take competitors and I say, all right, here's your maintenance. Here's where we've been. If I've reverse diet them, they're even higher, but I'm cutting 300 to 500 calories off. And that's it. Little micro cut. Not this 1,000, not this 2,000 cut sometimes people are doing. We're taking someone who's eating 3,000 calories a day and say, hey, guess what? You're eating 900 calories the rest of prep. We're 12 weeks out. Let's go. That's every other coach, you guys. That's a lot of coaches in this game. They're doing that. Bad coaches are doing that, okay? And what happens is you got to understand that that's jacking you up. What I'm looking to do say, how do I get you there in the best possible way? Because I know we want to maintain this muscle for your physique. It's important in bikini. I know we got to get to this conditioning, but it's not a super shredded hard level conditioning. It's a softer one. So how do we do this? We feed you as much as we can. We do as little cardio as we can get away with. And we do this all while sticking the results we need. No doubt, we're adjusting weekly on check-ins. We're adjusting as we go. We're adjusting as needed. But we're never taking extreme drastic cuts, extreme drastic measures. We're never doing those things. We want to get somebody into a spot where they are in a physique that they're living in, a physique that's maintainable, a physique that's sustainable. And guess what? If you do this right, you're going to show up on stage your best you've ever been. No doubt, crazy. You could be a first-time competitor and look like you've done 20 shows because if you do this right. The reason a lot of people don't look like this and a lot of people struggle is because they did the wrong stuff before. I'm telling you, you do the wrong prep, you do the wrong measures, you do this extreme diets, all this, it affects you for potentially years of your life, sometimes the rest. And people want to argue with me on this. Other coaches say, oh no, that's not true. We love the peak week. We love the extreme dieting. It's good for everybody. Cheers. And well, guess what? None of your clients are making it past a year on stage, and that's really what happens. At the end of the day, it taxes your body too much and it will tax you for a long time and it can potentially affect you for a very, very long time, especially if you don't correct it, which a lot of people don't, okay? So do the right measures on prep, all right? And literally, that's what it is. Put this shit on your story, I'm telling you. Tag me at TeamFFLEX and put bikini competitors should eat as much as they possibly can. Do as little cardio as possible and lift heavy weights on prep. And that's how you're going to get your best physique. Seriously, do it, all right? I'm telling you. And that's really what it takes, ladies. And if you want more help, go to my website right now, TeamFFLEX.com. And I will show you how to train for this division. I'll show you how to do it. It's not a bunch of crazy workouts, not a lot of cardio, nothing crazy. We do custom coaching. You get to try it out for free. TeamFFLEX.com. You can check out our free coaching trial. And that is the #1 way to really figure out what you need to be doing, how to do it. And it will definitely kickstart you on your journey, regardless of where you're at. Or give you a new mindset, a new input, a new idea, something you can utilize, something you can take. No obligation, by the way. You don't have to buy anything. We're not taking a cent from you. I'm not getting your card information. It's a free damn trial. I do it to help you, just like I do with all these videos, 5 videos a week. And that's exactly why I hope if you got anything out of this today that you share for me, all right? Share it out, put it on your socials, tag me, screenshot this right here, boom, put it out there. There's a good little grab for you. Screenshot that, put it on your story, okay? And then tag me and share it out because that's what I do these for, to help people. I want more people to know. I want people to get the info they need. Enough to this generic garbage. Enough to this bad coaching. Let's give people the best results of their life because we give them knowledge, all right? That's what this channel's about. So you should subscribe and you should definitely share, all right? Thank you for watching. I'm Ryan Milton from TeamFFLEX. Be back tomorrow. The theme of the week is bikini. We're talking about bikini training tomorrow on the Iron Palace. Thanks for watching. Coach Ryan is out.